Hi guys, welcome back to my kitchen, and or should I say hola, because today we are cooking Mexican food. Because, well, why not? I've been having a craving for it, and I finally decided if you're going to do Mexican food, go big or go home. So tonight we are eating an entire Mexican extravaganza. We are going to do a deep fried, it's called a flauta, and it's like a shredded beef taco that you deep fry. You wrap it in a tortilla and then you deep fry it and you garnish it up with all kinds of taco toppings, and it's delicious. So we're going to do that with an avocado lime garlic cream sauce to go on top, which will be delicious. We are going to do a Mexican inspired beans and rice dish that has all kinds of great stuff, some corn and some green onions, bell peppers, tomatoes, all that good stuff in there. We're going to be drinking frozen mojitos, and we are going to wrap up with some churros. Now, I don't know that we're going to film all of that, but we're going to try and get through at least the beef and the rice for today. So what we've got here to start is about a 3-pound sirloin roast. Not a lot of fat on here, but if there is some, you don't have to worry about it. I wouldn't bother trimming it unless it's a huge amount of excess fat, but this one's pretty good. Today I'm using my Instant Pot because I do want to get the beef shreddable in a short period of time. Now, if you don't have an Instant Pot, you don't have a pressure cooker, you can just do this in a crock pot, put it in the morning, and by supper time it will be fallen apart. You can put it in with your seasonings that I will show you shortly. But right now I've got my Instant Pot on and it's on saute. So as soon as it's hot, what we're going to do is we're going to add some oil to our pot. We're going to season our beef with some onion powder, garlic powder, salt and pepper, and then we're going to give it a sear in the pot. Now, you don't have to really with the Instant Pot. I mean, you can just throw your beef in and start cooking away, and yes, it's going to shred up beautiful for you. But the searing part of it just gives like a deeper flavor. So it's not a step I would recommend you skip. So let's start off by seasoning our beef. So we're going to season all sides with some pepper, salt, garlic powder, onion powder, flip it over and do the same thing. So the nice thing about the Instant Pot is, like I said, you can have this shreddable in about an hour's time. In a crock pot or in your oven, crock pot I'm guessing 5-6 hours. I don't know how long it would take. I don't use my crock pot anymore since I got my Instant Pot. My crock pots are basically relegated to keeping stuff warm. All right, so we've got our beef seasoned. Now we're just waiting for our pot to get hot, and then we're going to add our beef in and start that to a sear. Just 2-3 minutes on each side until it's kind of caramelized looking, and then you can flip it, do the same thing. You want all sides seared, then we can get started with the actual pressure cooking of the beef. All right, our pot just beeped at us to let us know that it's up to temperature, and it also will say high on the outside. So we are going to take our beef and we're going to get it into the oil. I've got about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You'll hear that sizzle. And now we are really not going to do anything. We're not going to muck about with it. We're just going to let it do its thing for 3-4 minutes, and then we're going to flip it over, okay? Okay, so it's been about 3-4 minutes, and I'm just going to show you. Yeah, we've got some good color on our beef here. That's what you're looking for. You want to start and get that dark golden color. So we're just going to flip all of our pieces over. We want the same treatment on all sides. And if it sticks a little bit to the bottom, don't worry about it, because you're going to be adding liquid later, and that's where all the flavor is stored anyways. Okay. Another 3-4 minutes and then we'll check in on it. Okay, looking good. We're just going to remove these to a bowl for a moment. And we're going to set them aside. And then we're going to we'll hit cancel on our Instant Pot. And we're going to add about 1.5 cups of beef broth. Go. And we're just going to use a wooden spoon to kind of scrape up all the brown bits on the bottom. Okay, so our beef is set aside. We've deglazed our pan with the beef broth and we've scraped up the bottom to get the brown bits off. Now I'm going to add a trivet to my Instant Pot and I'm going to pop my beef back in there. Along with any juices that have accumulated. All right. And we're going to throw in 1 crushed clove of garlic. We're going to pour in 1/2 cup of salsa on top of the beef. Taco seasoning. You can do it yourself. If you're going to do it yourself, I would use a mixture of cumin, paprika or smoked paprika, chili powder, and maybe some oregano to get the similar kind of flavors. But this for me is just, it's a convenient option and we really like the flavor of it. So we're just going to sprinkle it in. Give it a little stir here. And that's going to create some real flavorful cooking liquid. So now we are going to put the lid on our pot, make sure it's locked. On this particular version of the Instant Pot, as soon as you lock the pot, it automatically goes into a sealing position, but if you have an older model, make sure that you have your vent in sealing position, otherwise it's never going to come to pressure. Now we're going to go pressure cook, and we want to go for about 55 minutes. And then we're going to, on this model, you have to hit start. I know on some models it will just automatically start counting down. But that's it. We're going to just leave the beef to do its thing. After the 55-minute pressure cooking cycle is over, we're going to let it naturally release for about 10 minutes, and then we will vent the remaining steam. And by then, our beef should be beautiful and shreddable. The problem if you don't let it naturally depressurize is that all those juices they don't get to rest in the meat, and your meat gets to be a little bit tougher. So do let it rest for about 10 minutes after. So we're just going to set this aside, let it do its thing, and let's move on to making our cheesy Mexican rice and beans. Okay, so we've got a pan with some olive oil heating over medium-high heat, and we're going to make our rice. So what do we need for that? Well, earlier today I just cooked some instant rice. So there's about probably 3-4 cups worth of rice in there. You're going to want some chopped red bell pepper, some canned corn, which you've drained, a can of red kidney beans, a large white, this is a Vidalia onion that I've chopped. You're going to want some green onions, some can of green chilies, and either a can of tomato sauce or stewed tomatoes, your choice. Some taco powder, again, some cheese, and some garlic. So let's start off though with our onion. And our pepper. And a little bit of garlic. I would say the equivalent of 1 clove of chopped garlic. And we're just going to stir this until it softens. Right, it's been about 4 or 5 minutes, and as you can see, our onion is softening nicely, so is our pepper. So to this, we're gonna add, now this is quite a large can of corn. I'm not gonna add all of this. I'm gonna add about probably half to a third of that. And we're gonna toss in our can of red kidney beans. We're gonna stir. An entire can of green chilies. Now these don't really add spice, they just add a nice flavor. If you want to add extra spice, instead of using just plain tomato sauce like I am, you could get a can of the Rotel chilies. They have quite a bit of heat to them, I find. It would be nice in something like this. So I'm going to try about a half a can to start of our tomato sauce. Stir. And again, to impart some of that flavor that's coming through in our beef tacos, some taco seasoning. Not a whole packet though. Maybe that might be a tablespoon there. Smelling very good. All right, now I'm going to start adding my rice into this mixture. Now the rice again has been cooked already, so this isn't really, it's not like we're worried about cooking the rice. We want to get everything kind of warm together, and we don't want to have so much extra liquid that the rice is going to turn soggy on us. It's going to eventually go in the oven and get heated right before we eat, but right now I'm just going to get it into a casserole dish. So we're going to take our rice. I guess if I were describing this dish, how you really want it to be, you want it to be sort of a little on the drier side, I guess. So I would err on the side of caution with how much tomato sauce you use, because some of these other veggies are also going to give off liquid, the corn and the peppers and whatever else. Okay, just keep stirring in our rice. Okay. Reduce my heat. And that's going to look great. But we're not quite there yet. Not quite. Because, of course, this is a cheesy Mexican rice. So we're going to add some shredded, I have 2 kinds of old cheddar cheese that I grated up, a white and a yellow. And I'm going to add some green onion here. Give that a little mix. And we're going to grab our cheese, and we'll do, it's about a cup, maybe a little better. And we're going to stir it in. And then we are going to put this happy concoction in a glass casserole that I have sprayed with nonstick cooking spray. And I'm going to spray a piece of tin foil, and I'm going to put the tin foil over the top so it doesn't stick. I'm going to top with a little bit more cheese though. And then we're just going to set this bad boy aside until we are closer to eating. And we'll just literally put it in the oven to kind of warm it up and bake it. So here is our, kill the heat there. Here's our casserole dish, and it's been sprayed, and we're just going to empty this in. Looking good. Oh, smells so good. I don't know about in the States, but up here in Canada years ago, there used to be a Mexican food chain called Chi-Chi's. And actually Chi-Chi's is where I went for my first ever date. And they had good stuff. And actually, I have to admit, I'm not a huge rice eater, if I'm honest. But I always loved the rice. Mexican rice was very much like this, A little drier though. I think I almost went and put too much tomato sauce. Probably I should have done about quarter cup less than I did, but that's okay. It's still going to be good. Okay, so now I'm going to get some tin foil. I'm going to spray the underside. I'm going to cover it with tin foil and set that aside. Our beef is in our pot here and it's continuing to do its thing. And then we're going to move on to the avocado lime cream sauce that's going to top our flautas when we're done. Okay, we're going to make a delicious sauce to go over our beef flautas once they are completed. We're going to start out, we're going to use the remainder of the garlic, so probably 2 cloves of garlic in here, to which I am going to add some avocado. Start with 1 and we'll see where we end up. I may need to make a double batch because this is a small food processor. We'll see. And we want to do the zest and juice of at least 1 lime. It's going to give some really nice flavor. Now, normally when I make this, I would be adding cilantro to this because I love cilantro, but my guest who's coming for dinner tonight is not a fan. And fun fact, some people have something in their genetic makeup that when they taste cilantro, they tend to taste a soapy flavor, which, as you can imagine, would not be pleasant. My partner, Walter, doesn't like it either. And I think he and the gal that's joining us for dinner tonight, I think they are just, unfortunately, they have that predisposition. All right, so we have zested our lime. Now let's add our juice. And now we've got our ingredients in here, we're just going to whir it up in our hand blender. Okay, so we've got our beef out of our Instant Pot. It depressurized for 10 minutes and it has, we have shredded it up. It is the perfect consistency for what we're looking to do here. Still nice and warm. We've got some oil heating over in our pan here. So we're just going to add about a cup of shredded cheddar cheese to our meat. Mix that in. We've got our oil heating to ideally about 350. It's a little high. I'm just going to cut the temperature back a bit. Don't want it smoking. Now you don't want too much cheese in this because if there's too much cheese, it's just going to seep out into your oil and make a mess. So we're going to start with a flour tortilla. Take a little bit of our filling. Oops. Spread it out. Maybe a little bit too much actually. Spread it out. Gonna fold it over, kind of pull back so it's nice and tight. You're gonna squish your filling out for the whole thing. And you're just gonna roll it up nice and tight. Now, let me check our oil. Good. Okay, we're good. And we're going into our pan, seam side down. Pop up on us, we're holding it down. Just until it's golden brown on both sides, which it is. And then we're going to take it out and set it aside, finish the rest of them, and then we're going to garnish it up and go to the plate. Okay guys, here's our finished product. They are crispy, they are golden brown, and they are full of beefy, cheesy, Mexican spiced goodness. We're serving them up alongside a taco salad, but also feel free to garnish them with some of that avocado lime cream sauce that we made, sour cream, salsa, cheese, tomatoes, anything you'd put on a taco. Then of course there's our beautiful Mexican flavored rice. Look at this spread. Does this not look like the very essence of summer eating? Oh, it was delicious. I really hope you guys have enjoyed joining me in the kitchen, and I hope to see you back again here real soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.